Alright, hold on a damn second and stop running, will you? Now you look like a Skylar. Can I call you Skylar? Skylar, if you keep going that way, you're going to come across a narrow road with lots of cars, and then a 70-foot drop straight off a cliff. Trust me, I've seen many of your family and friends not make it back. Therefore, Skylar, if you just come with BC, I will lead you to a great big field with your loved ones, your family, your friends, maybe some people you can't stand, but at least you'll still be alive, Skylar. So we can do this the easy way or the hard way. You're gonna come to BC, or BC's gonna have to come to you. Now, stay. I'm certainly not gonna watch you become roadkill or watch you dive bomb catapult off a 70-foot cliff like you're a damn Mick Foley. Stay there. BC's gonna come to you and lead you to safety. You don't even gotta thank me, Skylar. Stay. Get up here. Skylar! Come on! Skylar! Skylar, you cut the shit, you stop right now! Look at me! Great! Why beep your horn, honkin' Holly? Now you just fucking killed him! Straight off a 70-foot cliff, you happy now? Honkin' Holly? Headed back to the city and we double-fisting those caffeinated bitches. Cause BC's got a big podcast planned when I get back to the office studio. Little place called Wawa, loading up the caffeine and just a little bit of that whipped beauty. My unit coming at you on this early Friday morning with some bonus content. We were traveling from south of the tri-state and we hit up what's known as a Wawa down there. It's basically like your 7-Eleven, but on some extracurricular activity, if you know what I mean. It's a super 7-Eleven or super Cumberland Farms. It's a fucking Wawa, man. It's basically like a mini supermarket at a gas station. So anyway, I doubled up. And as you guys saw, I had the big, bold Frappuccino, extra whip on top. That was for the traveling. And I got this bad boy, a fucking fresh, cold French vanilla cappuccino. Never had one of these bad boys from Wawa. We're about to do that right now. So yeah, we're going to be fully amped. We're fully stocked. We're fully ready for this bonus content, man. If you can't watch BC, I don't know how long this is gonna go, but I got some audio clips that I want to show as well. So don't be afraid. Don't be shy on just popping in the earbuds, the earphones, and listening to BC if that's more suitable for you. You want to go about your jog, your run, your errands. Maybe you're at work and you can slip an earbud in, man. BC can come at you, obviously, in audio format. I want to talk some Triple H, man. He's taking a jab over at Mickey James, and he's taking some jabs at the fans as well. Not saying that that's what he intended to do, but sometimes you got to be careful with your words. Triple H found that out the hard way, man. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit, but I want to talk some more about Aleister Black. I know this dude has been taking up the top news stories for the past 7 days plus, but that's rightfully so. I mean, he's such a uniquely special talent, and wham, he was released without any knowledge himself that he saw that coming. Not from a mile away. Aleister was even taken off guard and by surprise. So just imagine what the fans in the wrestling world was like on that Black Wednesday when Aleister Black was canned, released. And now we're starting to hear a lot more information, not by a third-party site, not by any dirt sheets, not by somebody who's in the know, not somebody who's got a guy who knows a guy who's got a guy. No, it's from Aleister himself. It is from Aleister Black himself. Sometimes you get a guy who's been released or fired, and they don't say anything. Either WWE tells them to shut the fuck up for 30, 60, 90 days. Maybe they think it's best to shut the fuck up. And then you got those guys that are ready to sing, guys or gals that are ready to sing like a canary. Seems like Aleister Black is ready to spill the beans and talk that shit any chance he can get. He's got a lot to get off his chest. And he recently just did a pretty good interview with Renee Paquette, formerly known as Renee Young. And this dude did not pull back any punches. He did not hold back. He told you exactly what was on his mind, and he gave you some insight into the locker room of WWE. And I want you guys to listen to just a couple of clips. This will equal just a few minutes. But it's important that you hear this from Aleister's mouth himself, because when you ask how valid is this channel, right? How much stock can we put into BC? How much stock can we put into the Amplified channel? Does this dude know what he's fucking talking about? Is he just a fan with a microphone and a camera? Or does he actually know his fucking shit? Now, the thousands of you that are subscribed, the thousands that catch these vids on the constant, on the frequent, you guys know by now I know my shit. Proven one time after another, every fucking time, to be right. But for those that are still on the fence, right? Or those that love to say I'm too negative. BC's the boogeyman, the asshole. If he was just more positive, pro wrestling would be more fun. They don't stop and think, well, gee, if I just don't watch BC, maybe I will still be enjoying it. But they know that's a bold-faced lie. They know it's not BC. They know that they themselves are not enjoying it. So they try to go on channels like this to see if I can spark that interest again. Right, if BC likes it, maybe I can enjoy it more. But I'm not here to hold your fucking hand. I'm here to call out the good, the bad, and the ugly, and to make pro wrestling better. Will it ever be what we once had? Of course not. But it could be, and should be, a hell of a lot better than what we have today, because what we have today is unacceptable. But these jackasses, these pathetic little bitches that claim that BC and people like BC are the problem because we're too negative, because we call out negatives more than positives, not understanding that factually there's more negatives in these shows than positives. But they have to ask themselves, why do you care so much what BC is saying about the product, or a show, or a character, or a storyline? Why do they keep coming back? Why do they keep talking about BC? Why is it my words that they're concerned with? And the bottom line is, it's because my words hold the most value, and these dipshits know it. They want me to speak so positively because they're yearning. They're yearning for a good product, and they know damn well they're not getting it from the E. Not from McMahon anyway. So the toughest part for them is that they know subconsciously up front, BC's right every fucking time. Every fucking time. And I have the evidence. You just look at what Rusev was saying while he was still on the roster about how that place is basically a prison, and he's got the shackles on and he can't wait to get out. That was Rusev, Miro, when he was on the roster. And Luke Harper, Brody Lee, when he was on the roster. He was sending out paragraphs as cries for help to get out of that prison. Rusev, Luke Harper, or Miro, Brody Lee, Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, while he was on the roster, could not comprehend how he was being used. It's like a prison. FTR. Sasha Banks even had to walk away. How do you fuck up someone like Sasha Banks? Even Vince's gals themselves walked out. Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax. Some of those came back. Some of them went on to greener pastures. My point is, it wasn't just BC, right? I've had this channel, 4 or 5 years nearly? And I talk about how the morale is backstage. We talk about how these wrestlers feel like they're prisoners and how they feel like their confidence is being sucked out of them. Their confidence is basically at a non-existent level thanks to McMahon. That's not good when your boss can suck the confidence out of you and make you question yourself. But that's what these wrestlers have said time and time again. So these same dipshits that say BC's too negative, what are they saying when they hear one shoot interview after another of the wrestlers backing up exactly what BC was saying time after time? What do they have to say? Does BC get an apology? Do they stop and go, well, BC was right the whole time. I was wrong about that, BC. No, they keep yearning on to something that is not there. They keep wanting to tell themselves, make themselves believe that the product is hunky-dory. That these wrestlers are just whining and crying. That they're pissed off because they're let go. They're pissed off because they have nothing for them. They pissed off because they suck. They'll tell themselves anything to coddle the balls of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. But all along, BC knew he was right. I didn't need validation. I don't need a pat on the back or a pat on the big fucking delts, which, by the way, put him up, unit. Put him up. Ow. Where's my respect here, man? We gotta get fucking amped before we continue. Let's pop the coffee. Shake this really well, man. This is my first Wawa cappuccino, man. Alright, now we're doing things the right way. So this brings us back to Aleister Black, right? Let's go full circle with this. Because he's on Renee's podcast. And, you know, sometimes, you know, I like to hear these because it's always interesting just to hear it from their perspective, these wrestlers. On the other hand, I don't want to hear it because I know what they're going to say. Because again, this isn't stroking my own ego. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I gained the audience that I gained in a fairly short amount of time because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. First I use logic and common sense, then I dig up the research and do my history and dive into the books and break down that fourth wall. See what's going on. But I know what I'm talking about, so I know what they're gonna say way before they even say it. And when they give us that insight that I already know they're going to give us, it's bittersweet, you know? It's because it pisses me off that so much talent can not only be misused on that roster, but to the point where they let them go. I mean, they literally don't even see a way they can be used. So it's not even misused. They sit them home for months, and then you look at Aleister Black. This guy we thought he was injured at one point. Even BC, I was thinking there was an arm injury or something. No, they sat this dude home for 7 months, and then he came back just to basically fire him. They released him. After 7 months of saying stay home. How do you fuck up somebody like Aleister Black? Somebody like Shayna Baszler? And I'm getting carried away. I'm going off track. So I want to just kind of collate Shayna and Aleister because I want you guys to listen to this. This is Aleister Black on Renee's show. And then I'm going to switch to a different audio clip from just a month, maybe 2 months ago, of Shayna Baszler on Renee's podcast. And you're going to hear something very familiar. So let me cue this up. Let me try to... What do I want to go to first? There's a few clips that I want to play. Let's just start off with this. This is Aleister Black. And he's talking about basically just the main roster, Vince McMahon confusing the shit out of him, and he doesn't know where the fuck the Aleister Black direction or character is going, thanks to these jackasses. Listen to this.
You know, and everything was super positive, and he repeated that over several course of my interactions with Vince. A lot of promises, a lot of like, this is what I want to do with you, that's what I'm gonna, but you know, the translation was never there. So obviously at one point you start doubting yourself. Mm-hmm. And to the point where I think
you start doubting yourself, he just said. This is Aleister Black, a badass from NXT. Should have been a badass right from the jump in WWE. And in a matter of fucking months, Vince McMahon has this guy doubting himself. Yeah, sounds like a real fucking awesome boss, but I'm the bad guy.
Was after Money in the Bank, the Mysterio storyline, where I kept running out and getting beat up. And at one point I was kind of like, okay, what are we doing? And I knocked on the door. This is about the fourth, fifth conversation. I tried to get in there with him very regularly, or talk to him at least.
Yeah, it's difficult though.
Yes, very difficult. I sometimes have to wait 4 or 5 hours before I can get in, and it is what it is.
He has to wait 4 to 5 hours just to see his fucking boss. This is somebody who can make him mad money. Made fucking Triple H good money, WWE, Vince McMahon in general, good money when he was in NXT with his merchandise alone. And instead of trying to make this dude mad money, trying to make this company better, this guy can't even get a fucking meeting. Hours just to talk to Vince. Because the poor guy doesn't know where he's going. He's going out every week and he's getting beat up by Mysterio. And he's like, wait, nobody's telling me what this is leading to. So every time you hear BC saying this is a fucking stupid storyline because there is no story or no care, no effort, nothing is being put into the storyline or a character, now you know what I mean. The wrestlers themselves are telling you this. But I'm the fucking asshole in the community? That's fine. I'll wear the black hat literally and figuratively. But don't fool yourself. I don't give a fuck what you call me. Don't lie to yourself. Aleister Black has to wait fucking hours to get answers because he's confused as hell. His confidence is shook. And he's doubting himself. Does that sound familiar? Let me play you a clip of the same podcast of Shayna Baszler just a month or two earlier. And this is what she said about talking to Vince McMahon and what he was telling her, giving her mixed signals. Do it this way, she would do it. No, change it, do it the other way. Listen to this. This is Shayna.
We do it. He hates it. We go in the back and he's like, well, it looked like you guys were just fighting each other. And I was like, yeah. Okay, so he makes us do it again. This is when we were doing the stuff at the PC and we were recording some episodes and doing some live. So he goes and makes us do it right away again. And I'm just flabbergasted. I'm still new up there, so I don't know how stuff is. I'm like, and Natty's like, I got you. We'll do this. So we go and we do like a match that she basically calls to me. And it's a normal match, you know. We go in the back and he loves it. And I'm so confused at this point. I'm like, man, we did like headlock takeover.
She's so confused at this point because she just said Vince told her to stop what you're doing this way, do it this way. She did it that way. He said it sucked. She changed it up. He right back to basically what she was doing originally. Vince loved it. Now, one of the most badass, just like we said about Aleister, but for the females, one of the most badass son bitches. You got Shayna Baszler now doubting herself, confused as fuck. Sound familiar? This is going to sound familiar too. This is a continuation of the same fucking paragraph.
Drop down leapfrog. I don't understand. And so I go and I sit outside Vince's office for a long time because I'm like,
just the worst feeling.
Yeah, it's scary, and it's and you know you're asking the guys outside, like, is he in a good mood today? Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, like it. Yeah. So I don't want to.
So she's confused, doubting herself. So she's waiting outside for hours. McMahon's office. Does that sound? I just played. It's almost like the most identical fucking clip of Aleister Black. It's identical. I'm being told one thing and then another. I'm doubting myself. My confidence is shook. I'm trying to talk to McMahon. I'm sitting out there for hours doubting myself more. And Shayna says the same exact thing. And Aleister months later said the same thing. And it's the same thing that FTR and Brody Lee and Miro and Cardona, everybody has said beforehand. But I'm the negative asshole. This is pathetic on a whole nother wavelength. That you land badasses like Black and Baszler and what I could do with fucking Rusev / Miro and Brody Lee and WWE, what I could do with them. If I was in a creative position and I wasn't shackled by McMahon, I literally had the opportunity to be creative with these sumbitches. What I could do! And they can't even be upfront with them. It's almost like he's fucking with their minds on purpose. It's almost like he's internally trolling and destroying them for his own fucking pleasure. It's an audience of one, is what all these wrestlers say when they leave WWE, right? Everything you see in WWE is just for an audience of one. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. It is so sad when I hear, time after time, and it's not even just these two. Like I said, you've heard it with Brody, you've heard it with Miro, you've heard it with Cardona, you've heard it with FTR and so many others. This is just the same fucking story on a loop. It's a vicious fucking cycle until you walk out or you get released. Aleister Black wasn't even done. Check this out.
Supposed to air after Mania. They didn't.
Talking about no direction.
Okay.
Everything that BC is saying on every fucking show review when I say, where is this going with this character or this storyline? Why is no effort being put in? Why does this suck so fucking much like nobody even cares? Shut up, man. If you don't like it, don't watch it. It's really good. You're just negative. Is it really good when even the wrestlers don't know what the fuck is happening because they're being told jack squat shit? Anyway, play it, BC.
Show after Mania. It's a busy book show. I get it,
Sure.
right? 2 weeks of vignettes and then another week of no vignette. And then I started to go, what is going on? Why are we not, because at that point you're also not really presenting the audience with the idea that you have a lot of trust in this because you're already kind of like breaking it up.
Yep.
Again, I was assured that nothing was wrong, nothing was going on. And 2 weeks of vignettes, last vignette, I kicked Biggie, and then a week later, obviously, I was on TV. They were kind of like, no, we're letting it breathe a little bit because we feel we got a lot of out of the kick with E. And then 4 days later, there we go. And
the whole time the vignettes were playing, right? And we were hearing, Aleister's vignette got pulled because of time issues, time management. And then he was told that it got pulled because they want to let it breathe. All these mixed communication, mixed signals. Nobody knows the fucking truth. That's how this company runs. The guy who's about to make a big return doesn't even know what's happening. He doesn't even know that his vignette wasn't even airing that night. It was supposed to, and then he finds out it didn't. How is this not fucking tragic to any fucking fan? If you call yourself a true fan, if this isn't the lowest of the low and make you fucking nauseous, then you're no fucking fan. You're a bitch boy Braden / crybaby Karen. And you need to hit the bricks. This is not the platform for you. Because on this platform, at least on this channel, we dissect all the bullshit. Aleister Black. He goes on in this too. This same, probably within the 5-minute duration of this very clip, but I don't want to spend too much more time on these clips. I just want to shoot the shit with you guys up front. But in this same little time frame on this clip, he talks about sitting home for 7 months. In fact, let's try to find it.
I'm not focusing on the negative part here because that's also something I want to talk about in a kick with E. And then 4 days later, opinion on it. Sure he does. Biggie in the head. I had to sit 8 weeks. We're going to get some separation between you and Kevin
Here
Owens.
it is. Thank you, guys. Thank you for getting... Hold on.
8 weeks. We're going to get some separation between
you. They told
you
him
and
to
Kevin Owens.
go home for a couple months.
We're off to the races. I was supposed to come back Rumble time. I think either on Rumble or right before Rumble. Not sure. And obviously that never came to fruition. So I sat home for 7 months. And I think that necked me. I think that's the part. And I kept asking, what are we doing? I don't think I've ever been more frustrated in those 7 months sitting home than I've been in my life or my entire career. That was the most
You
frustrating
feel like you're
part.
being held hostage.
Yeah, it's.
Come on, bro. Renee has been in that locker room for years. Aleister is telling you exactly what the fucking deal is. We thought he was injured, right? He just wasn't cleared yet. This guy was told to go home for 6 to 8 weeks. It became 7 months because they had nothing. He was supposed to come back after Mania. Nothing. He just said the passion that he has for this business, if you ever listen to this dude speak, even before he was Aleister fucking Black, this dude has such passion. It turned to frustration. McMahon had this guy hating this shit. He was getting frustrated to no end. And he's a pretty positive dude, actually. He says about 7 times in this very interview, he doesn't want to focus on negative. But that's what this company will do. Just like BC, who wants to talk about the positive, you can't help but talk about the overwhelming negative because it is so overwhelming. Aleister Black, man, was sitting at home frustrated because nobody was telling him what was happening. And 1 week turned into 2, 1 month turned into 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7. Nothing. And when he got back, nothing. They still, after 7 months, didn't know what the fuck to do with this guy. Until they finally said, oh, I can release him. I'm kind of paying him a lot. Maybe we can just keep the money. How do you not know what to do with fucking Aleister Black? How do you take a positive guy who's so passionate about the business and make him frustrated, make him doubt himself, take away his confidence? How do you fucking do that in the short amount of time he's been here? Or a Shayna Baszler or so many others that I've already pre-named. How do you fucking do? You have to really be bad at what you fucking do. You could talk about the money this guy is making now. Absolutely. He's resting on the laurels of what he built. McMahon has built an empire over the course of decades. The last 15 years, I started to see the fucking dip. The trajectory was downhill. The last 5 years, exponentially. The last 2 years, it's a sinking ship. And I honestly believe he's getting ready to fucking sell. And we're already seeing it. He's making all this money now, resting on the name itself. But when your viewership dips so low that there's nothing left to be purchased by any other entity, you're fucked. McMahon knows this, so he's selling everything now. You don't believe me? It's in the evidence. I don't bullshit on this channel. He's already selling droves of his stock. He's already gotten rid of his baby boy, the network. The WWE network? Bye-bye. That's gone now. Peacock. Don't be surprised if Comcast ends up buying the entire company within the next calendar year, because I won't be shocked. Tens of millions of dollars to Saudi Arabia, resting on the name itself, and then Saudi Arabia sees, oh wait, this is a shell of what we thought we were paying for. Fox hoping that WWE, the old WWF, man, that feeling it was going to reignite Fox. They're playing around with 2.0s. Several times dipping even below 2, and that's nationally television, man. That's Fox. That's beyond cable. You think you're going to get another $1 billion to $1.5 billion TV deal? It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen again if they don't change their fucking ways. All of the money that has gotten McMahon so rich within the last 3 to 5 years, this is the last of it. He's literally selling off all that he can. Until there's just one thing left, the company itself. And this is what he's getting primed to sell, I'm telling you. Mark Henry was just talking about it too. He was talking to some people and how they're kind of tidying up the divisions in WWE Stamford headquarters and the cuts that they're making with some of the more lucrative deals and just how they're just tidying up everything to look like a nice presentational package for a potential buyer. I mean, that's people in the fucking company, in the know, that are even saying, yeah, this looks like a potential sale. But you gotta be fucking bad at what you're doing to lose the amount of viewers that he has lost over the course of the last decade. He's making a shit ton of money, no doubt. But you know it's the short end game now. It's not playing for the long term. He's not gonna be making this money in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It's done. This is it. Take every fucking penny. Suck every penny you can right now. McMahon knows it. Because when this audience dips below, when that Monday Night Raw audience dips below 1 million viewers, good luck. Good luck, because you're not going to get a $1 billion TV deal. You're going to be booted off the USA Network. Because I promise you, if you start pulling in 800,000 to 900,000 viewers, you could put in Law and Order SVU, collect 650 to 750,000, and save yourself a ton of fucking money. That's what they'll do. Do that with NXT. You don't think they could pull 600,000 viewers and save a lot of money? I'm not fooled by the money that McMahon has been making or how high the stock is going. You reap the benefits, man. You rest on what you have made for the last several decades. Hey, it's his prerogative. He gets to do that. He built this empire. But the fact that you are building nothing more, no storylines, no characters, nothing for the future, you're not trying to keep even the fans that are sticking around, the diehards, you're not trying to keep them. You're doing nothing to pull in a casual fan. You're killing your own company. And it starts with losing talented individuals, uniquely special talented individuals like Aleister Black. I can go another fucking hour about this, but it perturbs me to no fucking end that you can go to this company, be an amazing talent, and the fucking boss can make you doubt yourself, take your confidence, shake you up, send you home, make you irrelevant to the point where people forget about you. Too many times this happens, and I gotta believe it is on purpose. Self-sabotage by the old bastard in Stanford. I see no other reasoning other than self-sabotage, and perhaps we'll never know exactly why it's being done, other than that promo that he cut for the NWO many moons ago. I believe it was on SmackDown. And McMahon said, "I'm going to kill the creation that I brought to the forefront." I honestly believe there's a little bit of truth in that promo that he cut. I think before he leaves this earth, he wants to kill that creation, the WWE. I don't know if he truly wants it in Triple H's hands or Stephanie's. I think he would be better off in his own dome piece selling the son of a bitch. Because if McMahon isn't running it, there's an emptiness in him. It has to be him. All hands on deck, meaning his hands, and only his. You can kind of see even in NXT, his hand is in the cookie jar now. Telling Triple H he's got to do X, Y, and Z. Thankfully, it's much better than WWE. But not by a long shot anymore. Back in the day when it was just Triple H and Vince didn't really care about it, you saw NXT was much, much better. Now we know for a fact, we heard the rumblings, we heard the reports from the people in that company that McMahon has more say in it. And you see it. It's evident, and he's telling Triple H to do X, Y, and Z for the USA Network, or this is going to be better for TV, or let me have this superstar. And the process, even NXT, is not what it once was. I don't know, man. This all stems from just bad decision-making. I'm still in awe that they lost Aleister Black. They didn't lose him. They literally got rid of him. How do you not have anything for him? But it's a broken record. We say this about so many fucking talents. And you hear rumors that they want to bring Aleister back in the future. We're starting to hear those rumors. Yeah, you think you want to bring him back? If I'm Aleister, I'm saying a big fuck you, dude. Maybe in the future I'll let you negotiate with me. But not now. Nah. I'm going to be the Tommy that I always was. And that everybody knew that I am. Knows that I am. Frustrating, man. Swig of coffee. Then we're going to talk fucking Triple H. Speaking of NXT, man. He's taking some jabs. I don't think he meant to. But this gets you into the mindset of Triple H and how out of touch even this dude is. You thought it was just the old man. Nah. Swig of coffee. We'll talk about it. All right, so Triple H, man, he did this conference call yesterday, and he's collecting a lot of heat. The first clip I'm going to let you guys listen to, I feel there's some truth to it when he talks about if you want things to be equal and have full equality, then you have to come together, right? equality can't be more division. So there's truth in what he's saying, because the question is about Mickie James and her having this all-women's event down for the NWA, where her husband is currently, I believe, champion, correct? Or a fucking honcho down there. So Mickie James is going out down there and having an all-women's event. And this person is asking Triple H his feelings about it and how Mickie James wants the best talent in the world, whether they're under contract or not, hoping that companies will allow Mickie James or these wrestlers to come and wrestle this event that Mickie James is putting on. So I think the diplomatic answer here is just, well, our superstars are, they have their hands full. So right now is not a good time there's never really a good time to be doing extra events. We kind of need all hands on deck, but we wish Mickie all the best, right? That's a diplomatic little PC answer. But this was Triple H kind of telling Mickie James to sit the fuck down. I'll let you guys listen to this, man. So this is his response to Mickie James having her own all-women's event. Listen to this. If I can cue it up, hold on.
It's a funny thing to me. I just don't. So equality is equality. Equality is not, I want my own show. Equality is not, we have to have our own program. If I told you that I was making an all men's program and I didn't want women on it, it would be criticized. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I do think it's funny when people go, I want the best in the world regardless of contractual status. Well, I'm sorry, but from a business person standpoint, then why do we have contractual status? Right? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. If you want to wrestle the best women in the world, come to the WWE. That's where they are. If you want to go elsewhere and say that they are, that's an opinion, and you can. But it is what it is. And I, while I'm all for it, I was one of the biggest drivers of it. And will we do another all women's event down the line? But possibly. But it's not the must-have in the moment. I think we do an amazing job of displaying our female athletes. And is it perfect? No. Will it always be in flux? Yes. But I think we do a pretty good job. And my opinion, and again, my opinion, the best female performers in the world are in WWE, and then if they're not, they want to be.
All right, man. Wow. A lot to unfold there, man. He ends it with the best women wrestlers in the world is right here in WWE. Well, I mean, the talent is there. I mean, you have Asuka, you have Sasha Banks, even Charlotte. The booking of Charlotte's fucking horrendous. But she's good. Naomi, the athleticism, second to none, maybe to only Bianca Belair. When you talk athleticism, man, is it pure. You got talent. Unfortunately, they get rid of some good talent like Ruby Riott. She should have been and could have been so much more. Mickie James, still at her age, could run circles around a lot of that roster. She's no longer there. But yeah, you have, Bayley. There's so much great talent. You could argue that the best female talent is in WWE, but you gotta do your research, man. I mean, Japan is fucking you up in a lot of areas, women-wise. So, AEW, Impact is not what it once was. Impact used to have the most dominant female roster. They're not there anymore like they used to be. AEW still has not hit its stride. One of my favorite female competitors in the world is actually Britt Baker. Not saying she's one of the best pure wrestlers, but she checks off so many other boxes that I just love Britt Baker. And I actually like the work of Shida. Shida was not given I don't feel she was kind of respected for her long reign. But I gotta be honest with you guys, man. Shida held the fort down when AEW was fucking with a basically non-existent women's roster. And Shida held that shit down. So I give Shida mad props. Thunder Rosa, when she is feeling like selling for individuals, Thunder Rosa is a great addition. I always thought if Evilise could get past her own demons, Evilise could have been a big fucking pickup for you. So AEW has potential in the future. But, right now it's WWE and in Japan. I hope I didn't say New Japan earlier, by the way. That wouldn't be New Japan. Japan. Their women over there in Japan are just like top notch, man. It's just a different feel. They're a different type of badass. It truly is a different style. I mean, it is a strong style. And I don't know. I mean, it's a bold statement to make, but I just feel like if I'm in Japan, I'm kind of like, yeah, motherfucker, hold up. And you say, well, see, what's he supposed to say? Of course he's going to stick up for his company. But again, maybe it's a half an hour press conference just to pump up your in your house for this Sunday special event pay-per-view. I mean, we ain't got to start flexing muscle, you know what I mean? Our women's the best, so you think you're going to bring all the women, Mickie James, to your little rinky-dink event? No, we have the best women in the world. You think you're the best, you come here. Oh, wait, she can't, though, because you fired her. You released her. So it's weird flexing to me. You release her, or you kick her out of the fucking company. You have her shit, and you have her belongings literally treated like shit, sent in a trash bag, and then you turn around and go, oh, you're holding a little event. But it's a lie. We have the best wrestlers, and you can come here and prove yourself. But if she shows up, you're going to say, no, you can't because we kicked you out. You see what I mean? It's a contradiction of epic proportions. So sometimes I just don't think Triple H thinks things through. Triple H is one of those dudes where he just runs circles in his words. He can say a lot while saying nothing at all. I mean, he just hopscotches his words. It's one game of fucking hopscotch. And I just don't know with this dude sometimes. I mean, it's like Corey Graves. You want to love him one day, you want to put him through a wall the next. So again, this is some weird flexing on Mickie James. And he says at the very top, I love how people say regardless of contractual status, when he knows it was Mickie herself that said those words. So he says, I love it when people use that term. He's meaning Mickie. And Mickie is just saying, hey, man, for one night, let them go out and do what they love on a pretty cool event that we're putting together for females. That's all. If you're just going to say no, say no. But I just feel there was a lot of heat. Triple H was not happy about this. And if you watch his NXT, Triple H really tries to put emphasis on the women. So I truly believe he feels like they are the fucking best. And in NXT, they put a lot of focus on the women, and they shine them on a lot better of a light than the main roster, for sure. I will give H his credit there. But it seems like he's doing so much for the women there, and then when you heard that Mickie James is doing this right out of the gate, right from being released just, a couple months ago, less than, and Mickie James is already holding this big event that's actually gaining a lot of traction within the news feeds for pro wrestling, so I think this really pisses Triple H off. So he's over there fucking... It just felt like a much more loaded answer. Much more heat was being... Just coming off of Triple H, I felt. I don't know. I don't know how you guys felt about that. This could have been a much more simplistic answer, and he kind of unloaded. So, I don't know, man. Again, Triple H is one of those dudes that talks in circles. This was pretty direct. He's telling Mickie James, I don't give a shit about your rinky-dink circus. You're not getting any of my females. And he tells her, if you want the best, you come here. But again, he already kicked her out, so you can't tell somebody to come back if you kicked them out, because it's just contradicting. So I don't fucking know what any of this fucking proves. But Triple H was not done. Triple H had more to say. There was a question. I think this was actually a question from Melty Boy. So I'm going to spare you the actual question, because it takes Melty Boy 17 minutes just to get to the fucking question. Melty Boy is another one. He can say a fucking shit. He can tell you a book and you'll get nothing out of it. He can speak for an hour and you'll get nothing from it. But Melty Boy, basically, I'll package this up with a little bow on top. Melty Boy is asking Triple H here about the talents not even wanting to go to the main roster anymore because they saw what happened to superstars beforehand, and now they just want to stay put. So what does Triple H have to say about talent that's been misused? And listen to Triple H dance in circles here. This dude is like hot potato with his feet here. He's making sure he doesn't get stuck. He's saying a lot, but he's not saying anything at all. He tells you a 5-minute answer, and you get nothing of substance. Listen to this shit. This is him talking about talent that's misused. And we all know they're misused. That's not it's not an opinion. It's not something we think is happening. The talent themselves, I already went over a list of names earlier. While they were with the company, they were speaking out, screaming for help on social media to get them out of the WWE prison, get the shackles off of them. The names I use consistently are names that I just befuddles me till this day, because BC could have done so much with them, and that is Miro Rusev, Luke Harper, Brody Lee, FTR, so many others, man. Zack Ryder had 4 different chances to get a real push, and every time they reeled him right back in. But those are just some fucking names. And those are the names that were actually still under contract, but going on social in talking about how bad the conditions were in that company. Just to give you an insight of how bad, they didn't even wait to get released. They wanted people to know they were fucking in prison. Get me out. So this is Triple H not admitting that talent is getting misused. Check this out. And I know, Beasley, what do you expect him to say, man? He's on a conference call for his company. I know. So sometimes it's better to say less instead of just feed bullshit. Listen to this.
Yeah, so one way of looking at it is misuse. Another way of looking at it is things don't always pan out. Like, look, there are players that play in the NFL. There are players that play in college football, and people cannot wait for them to get to the NFL. And they get to the NFL, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't pan out. And you could say, well, the team misused them or mismanaged them, or the coach of the team they played for didn't put them in the right role or do whatever. But there can be a million reasons.
No, there cannot be a million. This guy just tried to equate the misuse that McMahon does in WWE to his wrestlers in how he kills them basically upon arrival. DOA, dead on arrival. And he tries to equate that to NFL players or in sports where a player will show up from college where he had all the potential in the world, and then he gets to the sport on the big time, right? It's showtime in the NFL or the NBA or MLB, and it's just they're a shell of what they once were or what people thought they were going to be. And then he says it could be reasons like the coach didn't put them in the right spot. It was a management issue. How is that a million different reasons then? You're literally admitting that it's the company, it's the organization fucking them up. Whether it's management, the GM, the owner, the fucking athletic trainer, the coach, the assistant coach, you're admitting that's not a million things, that's the organization fucking them up. The only other way that somebody from college does not pan out to be the special talent that they were supposed to be is that they literally didn't have the talent. It's one of those two things. Maybe they got fucking injured, blew out a wheel, and they just can't be what they once were. That's the only other option. Or the only other way that a talent can go from 100 to 0, a hero to a loser. Other than that, it's a managerial issue. Isn't that what this motherfucker said? Rewind.
Football, and people cannot wait for them to get to the NFL, and they get to the NFL, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't pan out. And you could say, well, the team misused them or mismanaged them, or...
You can say a team misused them or mismanaged them, or the coach didn't put them in the right position. It could be a million reasons. That's what he said. He literally said... Everything he just named is an organizational botch. So after he says it could be he was misused, mismanaged, or a coach misplaced him, it could be a million other things he said. No! I love how he picked everything that the organizational issues, and it's their botch, but then he doesn't have any other... There's no other examples. He just says it could be a million other things. What? He blew out a wheel, he or she blew out a wheel, and can no longer be the talent that they once were. or their talent kind of eclipsed in college and they didn't have what it takes on the pro level. That's the only other... There's not a million ways that somebody who's got so much potential can fall flat on their face. That's it. They were either misused or they didn't have the talent. I give you the same fucking list that I've been giving you throughout this whole fucking hour, or what will end up being an hour. And that's just some names. We could keep going with names like Keith Lee, or a Ricochet, a Buddy Murphy, a Mustafa Ali. You could go with so many names and ask, well, hold on a second. Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, you see, look at what this guy... But fucking Bobby Roode. What they were in NXT. Clearly they have the potential and the talent. You just have to give a fuck and use them correctly. So you're telling me all of these motherfuckers got to the main roster and all of them fell on their face? All of them couldn't hack the main roster? Or Triple H, were they just misused? You think it's a coincidence that 100 individuals that did great in NXT all fell on their face flat on the main roster? You're not going to blame Mr. McMahon at all? Again, I understand you got to stick up for your company. It's a conference call. Sometimes it's better to say less than to just flat out bullshit. We all know the truth. They were misused. Unfortunately and sadly, what we hear time after time, like Aleister just said, sat at home for 7 months while everybody thought he had an injury. No, he was just getting frustrated by the week, sitting at home for 7 months. Unfortunately, it's not even just about being misused. It's about literally not being used at all. That's sad, man. But no, Triple H is saying, yeah, well, what it is, it's just not panning out. There's a million reasons. It's different for everybody. No, it's not different for everybody. It's one son of a bitch. His name is Mr. McMahon.
Or the coach that the team they play for didn't put them in the right roles or do whatever, but there can be a million reasons. It can also be that sometimes talent don't fit in a particular place, or...
Talent doesn't fit in a particular place. Yeah, blame Aleister. That damn guy, he doesn't fit here. Doesn't fit here. Well, we didn't give him anything though, Triple H. Yeah, but he doesn't fit there. See what I'm saying? He doesn't... No, Keith Lee, he's amazing. Why isn't he being used? Oh, he doesn't fit here. You didn't hear the news? He doesn't fit here. Why hasn't Shinsuke been more than... I mean, he could have been a rock star. Why has he had the trajectory that he has had since he's gotten to the main roster? Oh, you didn't hear? Shinsuke doesn't fit here.
Sometimes talent don't fit in a particular place, or talent got to a particular place and then thought, I made it, and that was the end of their growth curve. Sometimes it just doesn't work. There's a lot of factors.
What are they, Triple H? He's saying a bunch of shit that has no correlation to any wrestler that got released, any wrestler that's currently being misused, or any wrestler that has been fucking fired. Or frustrated.
As NXT has grown, one of the things that has changed about it is look, there is a question there when you say, so what is NXT? Is it just strictly a developmental where you're looking for everybody there to eventually move on, or is it its own brand? Is it its own organization, its own grouping? It'll be an interesting.
What is he saying?
Of sort of the criticisms, a year or two.
I don't know why they don't want to leave
3
NXT.
Years in, 4 years in, that was a heavy knock on NXT.
I don't know why they want to leave NXT. Maybe because my father-in-law's a fucking idiot.
And I look, I don't know if you remember it that way, but I do. For me, doing the interviews at that time, it was always said, how can I get into this brand whenever I get excited about a talent, they move on? It kills me for the brand, and I don't like it, and it was a heavy-duty criticism. That was for the first 3-4 years, and then that morphed into a different place where people got accustomed to that, and it switched. The brand changed again. and it's changed into a place where, yeah, there are going to be some talent that will be in a position for a long time. They might not fit different places. They might not want to go different places. There are some talent that don't want to leave and to expand beyond, that they don't want to. Maybe the schedule doesn't work for them physically, whatever it is. So there's a lot of options there. It's a funny thing to me sometimes that in our business, everybody is so worried about where people are going to go or land, or how is this going to play out long term in the future. How about watch it?
We're trying.
Do you like it or do you not like it?
We don't like it.
Do you like it, and do you like it? Do you have to say, well, I like it, but I like this other thing more, or I like it, but I don't like it as much as I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just watch it or don't.
Watch it or don't. That's. This is an owner of a company. Vince is the guy, okay. But this dude runs NXT. He's the next heir apparent. If Vince does not sell somehow, it's going to be H and Stephanie. Shane already said he doesn't want any of it. This is a dude who's running the company with a good old daddy-in-law. His advice is watch it or don't. His advice is like those little fucking trolls online, If you don't like it, don't watch it. What the fuck advice is that, man? Could you imagine my Green Bay Packers when they sucked way before Brett Favre? I'm talking the Don Majkowski days. Anybody remember that? Could you imagine the Packers going, well, if you don't like it, just don't watch us. I don't know what to tell you. Could you imagine my Knicks for the past fucking 20 years? Almost. I don't know, man. But for me, the heyday was Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Harper, all those boys, man. Anthony Mason. That was my New York Knicks. Could you imagine after those runs? They had a few runs afterwards, but the better part of 15 years plus, my New York Knicks telling its fan base to just not watch it if you don't like it. I couldn't imagine an organization saying that. Or if my Yankees, they got off to a horrible start this year. Could you imagine Cashman getting on the Yes Network and saying, if you don't like us, just don't watch us? I mean, who says that in a company, a conglomerate like WWE? Only a company so out of touch can have one of its leaders say, if you don't like it, don't watch it.
And stop trying to figure out where everything goes. Fans ruin their own stuff half the time. Trying to figure out where everything goes and why it's going there and how, and then trying to pick up their phone and go search for the thing to find out what it is that can ruin it for them so they're not surprised when it happens. Like, I don't understand that.
I'll give him that, but we have to find out why we do that, right? So he's saying, like, fans ruin their own surprises. They always have to find out what's happening before it actually happens. They always need to be in the know, basically, right? I'll paraphrase because Triple H runs in circles with his words. So let BC package it up with a bow. That's basically what he's saying, right? Fans ruin everything by always needing to be ahead of the game. But you have to ask yourself why we do that so much. Now, yes, it's a technologically, I can fucking speak. Let me have some more fucking coffee. Technological world? That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I get for saying Triple H can't fucking speak. Now I'm tongue twistering. So we have all these fucking electronic devices now when we always need to be in the fucking know for everything in the world. So it's not just pro wrestling. But why do we do it so much for pro wrestling, right? Let's look at the base of the issue, Triple H. The reason we have to do that is because we have to do that. Because the company itself doesn't know what it's doing. The wrestlers themselves, you've heard in this very podcast, I have played two wrestlers for you, Shayna Baszler and Aleister Black. I can play you much more audio from other wrestlers too. I just played those two because it's so just insane how it's a month apart and both are telling you the same thing. Vince took my confidence and I can never talk to them and they have nothing for me and they have no direction. Both within a month's frame on the same podcast. So I had to play those audio clips. But the wrestlers themselves are telling you they don't know what they're doing because the company never knows. So the fans have to. We have to do our own research. We can't leave it up to the company to surprise us because we know it's a pile of garbage and bullshit. There's nothing to be surprised at. They don't even know what's happening. It's on the fucking fly. That's not fun. So yeah, we create our own fucking fun, and we try to know what the fuck is going on, so that when you fuck it up on television, and we don't see a superstar for a certain amount of weeks or months, or somebody is being misused, or mistreated, or fucked up, or botched, we know why. Good old Vince. It's just WWE being WWE. We don't have to wonder what happened to a superstar, why a storyline, or any semblance of one, fell on its face. We know. We have to do our own research. That's how bad this company is. That's how much they fuck up and botch their own superstars and their own shit. They can't keep their house in order. So we have to do it for ourselves. If we're not in the know, we're going to be even more confused than originally watching these shows. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. We have to know what is going on, because we can't rely on the company to know. Prime example. I'm giving you guys examples here. Just let's keep it into what this podcast is about. Aleister. The first half of this podcast was about Aleister. Look at what he said. They sat him home for 7 fucking months. Fans didn't fucking know what happened to the guy. No transparency, nothing. What happened to Aleister? We had to do our own fucking research. The only thing we could come up with was there was a possible arm injury, I believe. And even then, even when we did our fucking research, we were wrong. They just sat this dude home. They just don't want us to know that. Don't pick up your phone. Don't research this. We'll surprise you. We're gonna bring Aleister back in a badass way. Could we trust them with that? No. They brought him back, do a couple vignettes, take a couple vignettes off the air without Aleister knowing about it, and then they fire him. They release him. Oh yeah, you really surprised us. It's a good thing we put down our phones. We're doing research to see what's up with Keith Lee. Oh, don't worry. Put down your phone. You'll know when you know. No, he's got fans that are concerned. There's no fucking transparency in this motherfucker. Bray Wyatt, yin and yang, like a fucking yo-yo. No transparency from the fucking company. They booked the guy like absolute fucking garbage. And we're not supposed to get to the bottom of this shit? So you cannot like the fact that fans want to be in the know, but maybe if you were holding your own fort down and keeping your own house in order, maybe we wouldn't have to do that. Maybe we'd be so entertained, we wouldn't even have a moment to pick up our phone. We wouldn't want to because we're so engaged. This company, this product has been so fucking bad. Monday Night Raw especially, SmackDown a little better, thankfully. But Raw especially has been so bad, you almost have to be on your phone the entire thing just to get your fucking mind off the nauseating shit you're watching. I know that may seem harsh, but I guess I'm just an asshole, right? That's what I've been told. Anyway, that's the Triple H spiel that I got for you. I just thought that was funny for you guys to hear. Triple H taking some jabs at fans, taking a little bit of a jab to Mickey James. Triple H being Triple H. It's easy when you're at the top, right? You can play the Mr. Hotshot and flex your muscle. You know, I always say this, man. Be careful how you treat people on the way up, because you're going to be seeing the same people on the way down. Treat people with respect, man. One more thing. I want to give props to, I believe it's Joey Janela, man. One of the dirt sheets actually put up a fucking photo of Janela getting jacked. And Janela's like kind of calling out the haters in it, basically saying it's not for you schmucks that body shame me because I don't look like a pro wrestler. Check out, do I got Joey Janela queued up? Well, maybe in post editing I'll get Joey Janela queued up and you guys can see. We got Joey? Let's get Joey Janela queued up. We'll put it in post right, if I can get it right now. Atta boy, Joey! Now listen, you guys know I'm a big advocate of pro wrestlers looking like pro wrestlers. That doesn't mean you gotta be fucking jacked up like a Hulk Hogan or Ultimate Warrior, juiced up on who knows what, or Cryback, who's still juiced up on who knows what. Because personally, I can't stand those puffed out pieces of shit, you know? And if you've ever been to the Jersey Shore or Venice Beach, you know what I'm talking about. Those fucking puffy dudes, you can tell they're on a fucking 10 fucking jugs of creatine a day. Fucking extracurricular activities being pumped in their fucking arms. Supplements after supplements. No, I'm not talking about that, bro. I'm just saying lift. Get stronger for yourself, right? Be as strong as you possibly can be. There's lives on the line in that ring. You're picking somebody up for a power bomb or maybe a gorilla press, a power slam. You're picking people up. You want to be at your strongest. There's a lot of wrestlers today, it does not even look like they hit the gym. That's just the truth. And your job as a pro wrestler, you're literally picking people up for a living. And your own body is taking a fucking beating. So I always want my pro wrestlers to look like a pro wrestler. Cody Rhodes, prime example. Dude's not jacked up. You look at Cody in WWE especially, you know, you could just tell that he was hitting the gym and just toning out and getting muscle. That's fine. I'm not saying you gotta look like a Hulk Hogan or get on a bunch of supplements or get juiced up. No, but lift. So Joey Janela was always one of those dudes where I just was like, dude, I mean, how can a lot of people, especially casuals, you can't really take them seriously if you don't look the part, right? Like if I'm jumping on an airplane, I don't want my pilot to have like a Hawaiian shirt on with khakis. You know, my pilot should not look like one of the vacationers. He should not look like he should be in the fucking, he shouldn't look like he should be sitting next to me, right? No Hawaiian shirts, no khakis. The pilot should have his nice fucking whites on with his little pilot's hat. Right? A little pair of fucking wings pinned to his fucking chest. That's the pilot, right? I don't want to go to McDonald's and order my fucking double cheeseburger by an associate in her pajamas. Right? Wear the black shirt with the fucking golden arch. My McDonald's employee should not be in her pajamas. I just don't feel right getting food from someone in their pajamas. I want you to look the part. And you can say that for there's just so many things where no matter what you do, you want to look the part. If you're going to buy a car, you want your salesman to be in a nice button down with a tie, right? You want him to look professional. You don't want him in just baggy jeans with a hoodie. Right? And yes, I said baggy jeans because I like more room in my jeans. I'm a 90s kid, 80s, 90s. I liked my jeans baggier. These skin-tight jeans that the kids are wearing today, thank goodness I did not grow up in today's era. That's all I gotta say. I stick to my baggy jeans. But the baggy jeans and hoodie, you wouldn't want to buy a car from somebody like that, right? I mean, you want to buy a car from a professional. You don't want to buy a car from somebody that looks like they just stole the fucking car and is trying to resell it to you. These are things that should be obvious. Whatever you are doing professionally in life, play the part by looking the part. Perception is reality. It's not asking a lot. If you don't look the part, what it tells somebody like BC from the jump is that you don't really care about it. Because you're not doing every box that needs to be checked off, you're not checking those boxes off. I love how Joey Janela, I think he was actually injured and that's why he came back with this new look, or is coming back with this new jacked up look, right? That's the rule in pro wrestling. If you get hurt and you come back not jacked, were you ever really out to begin with, right? It's the old fucking joke in pro wrestling, because usually when somebody gets hurt, they come back pretty fucking jacked. So Joey Janela, while hitting some haters, he's coming back a little more jacked. I like to see that, man. You know, care about your bod. Get jacked up. And when Joey Janela comes back, here's a crazy concept. We already know he can rock it in the ring. That's awesome. We know he can go. We know he does some crazy shit. We know he can entertain, but here's a crazy concept. When Janela gets back, he's going to look like a professional wrestler, or at least just a little bit more like a professional wrestler. So I give this guy double thumbs up for the effort. That's all I want to see up front is effort, man. Appearance matters, brah. Your podcast, your favorite podcaster, BC amplified should not be fucking bigger than the actual wrestlers. Today, though, BC is bigger than at least half the wrestlers he comes across. That's not good. The wrestlers are asking BC for his autograph. The wrestlers are asking BC for a picture. It should be the other way around, nah? My name is BC Amplified. Thank you for tuning in or listening. However you are taking in BC Amplified's podcast, vidcast, however you're taking in this whole impromptu bonus content, I'm just glad that you stopped by, maybe had some coffee, and talk some pro wrestling with BC, man. It's always appreciated. You guys always thank me for giving you the content. I thank you for stopping by, man, and shooting the shit with BC. So we'll do it again in the near future. And by near, I mean SmackDown, man. SmackDown's tomorrow. I hope to get that review out within the next 24 hours-ish. We'll see. Sometimes plans change. Last week, I couldn't even do a SmackDown review. I was out of state. But we'll see, man. Something will be coming this weekend, hopefully. So, and hopefully it is that SmackDown review. So keep a lookout. You should be subbed and notified anyway. Because not just the reviews, man. We put out impromptu vids all the time, man. Whenever I get a chance to shoot the shit with my amp unit, that's what we're doing. So, yeah, what a fun hour plus it's been. But now it's time to rock the fuck out of this day, man. Pound those coffees, whoop that ass, think, be, live, amped always. And until next time, your boy BC signing off. Check you later. Goodbye.